Hello everyone and welcome back to If My Heart Had Wings. Then there wouldn't be enough room for it in my chest anymore and I would probably die. Let's continue. I caught up with Kotori. She had a meek expression on her face as she quietly pushed her wheelchair along. Want me to push you? I don't know how tiring it is to push a wheelchair along, but if I tried to travel the same distance I would normally walk by using my hands, I would definitely find it tiring. I went behind her and pushed the wheelchair. I told you that I'd help you, didn't I? I'm not gonna do it all the time, but when my hands are empty, you can rely on me. Oh yeah, there is one. You're cute. Yes, there is. Because we are friends. I felt a little embarrassed as I said that. I don't think I'd have been able to say that if I hadn't been behind her. Since the first time our eyes met. Yesterday we were hanging out, weren't we? That means we are already friends, right? Generally speaking, it would be correct to say so. Kotori stays tight-lipped and doesn't answer. For a while we don't say anything as we follow the route back. Because you like me, right? I don't know if I want to ask or not. What matters is the fact that you are staying. Sure. So she is not going to throw it away? The last bastion. It seems like she's trying to say, I may be a tough girl, but you just look like a crybaby. If I said that, she'd just get mad, so I keep quiet. She suddenly seemed to lose her resolve, and she turns around to glance at me. Why me? That question comes to mind, but I don't say anything. I think the fact that it was me makes me quite happy, to be honest. That's fine, but I have one condition. Kotori puts her guard up. She looks as though she thinks I have another crazy demand to make. You talk to me like I'm a stranger. I want you to use my name more. You always refer to me as you or him, but I want you to call me Aoi. We are friends now. Would that be a problem? Don't you think of me as your friend? I'm a little anxious as I ask her. See? She seemed to say, it seems weird, please understand, as she bent forward. Kotori, why do you find it so strange to say my name? Because she's Japanese. Well, never mind. Come on, let's go, Miss Habane. Okay, let's go, Kotori. Kotori had a look on her face that indicated a complex mix of emotions. It seemed awkward and shy at the same time. We'll definitely go there above the clouds. There are wispy clouds in the sunset sky. From now on, whenever we look up at the sky, we'll be thinking about this. I'm gonna fly. My heart was beating frighteningly quickly. She's still reading the diary. It looks like I can keep going. Just a little longer until the end of this summer. There's no need to rush. I had just finished checking out and left the convenience store to catch up to Kotori, who had left first with a bag on her lap. I grabbed the wheelchair's handlebars. Let's go, Kotori, hold on tight. At Kotori's signal, I pushed the wheelchair as fast as I could. I'm okay. I'm fine. I try to act tough, but I can't hide the fact that I'm out of breath. My stamina's gotten worse. I've been running with a wheelchair this far, but my stamina isn't what it used to be. She couldn't help but notice, so Kotori took a sports drink out of the bag.
Hi, Aoi-kun.
Thanks! Why is she suddenly so unusually friendly with him? No, I was shot by an arrow there. My knee? Yeah, no problem, I think. According to the doctor, I shouldn't have any difficulty with everyday life. The problem is whether or not this is above the level of everyday activity. I'm in a good mood and I have been since this morning. Our club activities are finally about to start. It's Saturday, a day off, but we got up early and came to school. You're right. I finished talking and take a drink. I've been sweating a lot, so my body quickly absorbs the sports drink. Agia came out of nowhere and stood right next to me. It's nothing, no big deal. Kotori seems a little embarrassed as Ageha talks to her. You got here first? Oh, I didn't notice. Kotori was being careful around Ageha and spoke uncomfortably as she went on ahead. Instead of being annoyed, she seemed more embarrassed than anything. I think Ageha understands that too, but... Aoi-kun? That's me. What? Seeming like she'd had enough of talking to me, Ageha also went on ahead. Hey, wait, Ageha. I chase after the two of them and we head to the garage. What's up? Amane was already inside the garage. Amane was making a serious face in front of the drawing board. She's really concentrating and hasn't noticed us. For a moment I wasn't sure if I should call out to her, but if we don't say anything, how many hours would she be doing that? Hi there, Amane. What's up, Amane? Cheese? Where? Ageha and Kotori copy me. From now on, we'll do our best. Amane points at me and makes a troubled face. That's right, I'd never once told her my name, even though we've met several times. Aoi Minase, second year, class A. I give a very sharp self-introduction and the others do likewise. She memorizes our faces and names in order. She misses so many lessons that she apparently doesn't even know which class she's in. We are somehow very grateful to hear these words of thanks from Amane. Is it really alright for us to join? She wasn't sure if she would accept new members. Had she found the answer she was looking for then?
うん、君たちを歓迎するよ。ソアリング部へようこそ。
I don't know what she was worrying about or how she arrived at her answer, but it somehow seemed that there was no problem with us joining the club.
じゃあよろしく。
She seems kinda nervous. Or something. She said that like she was just throwing it out there before returning to the drawing board. She stares at the diagram with a serious look on her face. Ah. Amane?
なんだい?
What should we be doing?
ああ、そうだったの。お茶でも飲んでくつろいでいてくれ。そこの棚に漫画もあるぞ。
I'd rather have some video games. On that shelf was every volume of Slam Dunk. The covers were faded and it seemed like they'd seen many years of service. Stop hammering. The two girls both make faces that say, this isn't what I thought it would be like. My face might have been the same.
何かすることはないの？だから漫画でも読んで。そうじゃなくって、グライダーのこと。
Is there a manga about gliders? We really want to get involved with the glider. Amane opened her eyes wide.
そうなのか。変わってるな、君たち。
I don't want to hear that from you. Amane, could it be that we're in your way by joining the club? She didn't want anyone coming near this garage, did she?
そんなことはないぞ。ただ、今まで一人でやってたから、勝手がわからないんだ。
When Amane was a step away from the national championship with the robotics club, it seems she did most of it by herself.
典型的な集団生活が苦手なタイプね。
You want to talk? You
はーい、質問いいですか
？Ageha raised her hand.
どうぞ。ここって具体的にはどんな活動をするクラブなんですか？
Ageha asks a fundamental question. I feel like she's been asked a similar question before, but then she was only asked for a summary. If we're actually going to take part in this club, we need more specific information.
だな。グライダーを製作し、飛ばす。
That's it. I think everyone knows that already.
作るのと飛ばすの、どっちが主体なんですか？グライダー作ったら、普通は飛ばすんじゃないの？
But you're not aiming to enter competitions or anything, are you?
ああ、目指さない。
She answered bluntly and without even a shred of interest.
じゃあ、作る方が主体なんですか？違うわ。だって、あの雲の上まで飛ぶのが目的なんだもの。そうよね。
Amane somehow lacks confidence when she nods.
グライダーはどこまでできてるんですか？前日、ようやく組み上がって、テストフライトしたんだが。
As Amane explains, she moves into the garage.
主翼が折れ
Weren't
て
we
しまった。
already in the garage? In the corner of the garage lay the broken wings.
強度が不足していたらしい。今、設計から見直しているとこなんだが。
Looking at the twisted wings, Amane lets out a little groan.
強度計算をやり直しているが、今のところミスが見当たらない。理由がわからなくて困っているんだ。
If Amane doesn't understand, there's no way we will. I thought to myself as Ageha moved close to Amane and checked the broken parts of the main wings. Then,
ああ、こりゃ折れるわ。
she stated simply.
どうしてわかるんだ？だってほらここ、厚みがバラバラだし、ところどころ歪んでる。そうかな。
Well, she is in the robotics club, so it's no surprise that she would know about such things, I guess.
後方が雑だから、接合部が負荷に耐えきれず割れちゃったんですよ。
Amane reels in shock.
そうだったのか。
And then,
私は 手先が不器用だからな。
She becomes timid. You made this by hand, piece by piece.
すべてを私がやったわけじゃないが、機体そのものは手作りだ。これ手作りなんだ。
Kotori and I were pretty surprised by this, but Agea didn't seem to make much of a big deal about it.
そうか。雑か。
This is bad. She's totally depressed.
葵くんが手に入れてくれた部品のおかげで、ケーキの不調は直すことができた。主翼さえ修理できれば、またテストができるんだがな。
Are you going to do the wing repairs by hand too?
もちろんだ。
Agea takes the part of the wing that isn't snapped and looks it over, with a troubled look on her face.
こりゃ翼は一から作り直した方がいいんじゃないかな。でないと、多分他のところも折れますよ。
Amane looks like she's about to cry. Alright then, we'll help.
これ FRP ですよね。それなら私やったことあるし、なんとかなるんじゃないかな。すぐ取り掛かりましょうよ。その方が早く飛べるんでしょ。
The 3 new members' motivation has returned and now we are getting excited.
そうしたいのは山々だが、残念ながら素材がない。補修用にいくらかはあるが、この大きさのものを新たに作り直すとなると、かなりの量必要になりますよね。普段はどうやって調達してるんですか？通販だ。
Amane goes to the laptop and navigates to the website that sells her materials.
主翼を作り直すなら、だいたいこのくらいは必要だな。
Said Amane as she entered a number.
いえ、こりゃとてもじゃないけど部費じゃ賄えないでしょう。
I don't know how much the budget is for the Soaring Club, but the price displayed on the mail order site was no small amount.
まあ問題ないだろう。
Amane submitted the order.
いいんですか先輩？このくらいの金額なら全然平気だ。
Is she from a rich family or something? What do you mean, no problem? Could it be that when it comes to the club budgets, the Soaring Club gets preferential treatment?
届くのはしばらく先か。制作作業はそれからだね。
Which means that we don't have anything to do now after all.
それまで私らは何をしていればいいの？漫画でも読んでいてくれ。
With that order, the Soaring Club president went back to staring at the designs she was working on. Even if we say we've got nothing to do, it's not like there's nothing whatsoever for us to do. We were still beginners when it came to gliders, so we took some books from the shelf and started our own little study session. Aerodynamics, glider construction, and so on. As for the basics on how aircraft fly, we were told that before by Amane. In terms of the various methods of creating what is known as lift, the more we found out, the more interesting it became. And then it was noon.
おいしい。おいしい。久しぶりのカロリー摂取だ。
Amane was already enjoying the bread and rice balls that Kotori and I bought at the convenience store this morning. Just wondering, how long has it been since you last ate?
46時間ぶりだな。その時は学食のカツ丼を食べた。これも食べる？
Out of pity, Kotori offered Amane her pickled plum rice ball.
ありがとう。豪快な食べっぷりだね。
Witnessing the Amane Mochizuki-style eating technique for the first time, Ageha is, as expected, pretty freaked out. It could be because the image of the beautiful and mysterious senpai that Ageha had been holding onto was being completely annihilated. By the way, because we had club activities this morning, Ageha brought a lunchbox. Are there any other parts we need? I asked Amane once she had calmed down after a meal.
一つだけあるかな。何ですか？どうしても手に入らなくて、実はすごく困っている。
From the way she said it, we all crowd around to listen intently to her story.
何なの？それ。パイロットだ。
When Amane said this, she made a dramatic face she would use if this were on TV, looking straight at the camera. Aren't you going to fly it?
こないだ飛んでたし。私は下手だからな。この前も危うく着陸に失敗して尾翼を痛めるところだった。ほんとだ。お尻こすった跡がある。
It has?
私は運動神経にはあまり自信がないんだ。
Hang on, could you come here for a second? I call Amane over to an open space. Please try to do some repeated side jumps.
おう、いいぞ。
Amane tried some repeated side jumps like I asked.
Amane-chan, 反復横跳びよ。おう、わかっているぞ。よっ、
It's supposed to be repeated side jumps, but each time the distance is different and sometimes she turns her body. It should be just moving quickly from side to side, but it looks like some kind of horrific dancing.
ほんとだ。この人やばい。
Without thinking, we all murmured in unison. It didn't seem that motor skills were that important for piloting a glider, but that level of clumsiness could make things pretty dangerous.
それに、おい、高所恐怖症だしな。え？高いところへ登ると怖くてめまいがする。
Then why the hell is she making a glider?
でも一応資格は持ってるぞ。必要なものは一通りな。
In other words, she's been trying really hard. Oh, that's enough of the repeated side jumps.
疲れた。
Amane wipes the sweat from her forehead. She's a beautiful girl, so at least she's able to do those kinds of movements well.
はいはいはい。
Suddenly, Kotori raised her hand.
それ、私やりたい。パイロット、やってみたい。
As Kotori vigorously volunteered, Amane made a troubled face.
すまないが、君には無理だ。どうして？練習なら頑張ってするわ。私、こう見えて運動神経はいい方なの。ラダーペダルを踏めないだろ。ラダーペダル？
There are pedals in the cockpit. If you can't push them, you can't pilot it. Kotori moved back, dejected.
ああ、私はいいわ。乗るより作る方が興味あるし。
Ageha, who is looking inside the aircraft's cockpit, sounds like she's talking about someone else. That leaves one person. I wanna do it! If it's motor skills we're talking about, I'm fairly confident.
よし、じゃあ決まりだ。葵くん、君にはパイロットの訓練を積んでもらおう。
Yes! And that's how I suddenly became the pilot. After club activities were over, I returned to the dorm. Next time on If My Heart Had Wings. Thanks for watching and have a nice day. Bye bye.